like I could legitimately see this going full dystopian and going like full Hunger Games, where like everyone was gonna want to live in District 1 because it's the higher elite. Then you're gonna have District 13s, which are like the Hunger Games movie. One thing that I have loved learning are the different case studies of different countries and how they are getting ahead globally, right? So right now we have one that's been recommended by Omni himself. We got how Yogi Adityanath's strategy is turning Uttar Pradesh into a mega export hub. Like I said, I love these business case studies. So let's break this one down, shall we?
यूपी सरकार का वन डिस्ट्रिक्ट वन प्रोडक्ट
UP government's one is an experiment.
मेक इन
Is in a way a strong
इंडिया
development
एक
to
प्रकार
make
से
in India,
मजबूत
to make
विस्तार
in India.
है। ये योजना यूपी को दुनिया के औद्योगिक मानचित्र पर स्थापित करने में सक्षम है।
One district, one product is an initiative which is seen as a transformational step towards realizing the true potential of a district, fuel economic growth and generate employment and rural entrepreneurship, taking us to the goal of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
The UP government has earmarked Mirzapur's carpet making industry under their far-reaching One District, One Product program.
आज उत्तर प्रदेश की वन डिस्ट्रिक्ट वन प्रोडक्ट की योजना न केवल देश के अंदर लोकप्रिय योजना बनी है बल्कि दुनिया में भी इसकी एक नई धमक है।
So am I understanding this right? They're saying that this district is going to be the district of making carpets, and we're going to make the best carpets in the world in this district, and the district next to it is going to be like, we're going to make the best gaming chairs, and the district next to it's going to be like, we're going to make the best computer chips. Is that what I'm understanding? And like they focus on that.
Hi everybody. Ever since the independence of our country, since the past 75 years, we've been voicing our concerns for the farmers and small businesses of our country.
Yeah.
On one side, while the capitalists claim that freebies and loan waivers are ruining our economy, on the other side, the socialists often cry about the lack of facilities and giant companies paralyzing the progress of small businesses.
So you're telling me the capitalists of India are saying all the freeloaders are putting a burden on the system, and all the Democrats are saying, hey, that's what the system is for, and in fact that it's not getting the kind of care that it needs, and we need to be to empower those small and local businesses and governments? Huh. I swear, the more I look at India's politics, it just mirrors the American ones as well. It's so funny. So funny. It's same, but different. But still same.
And while both socialists and capitalists have been busy arguing, the politicians of this country have used it as an opportunity to make promises, give out freebies, and rise to power. But at the end of the day, the fact remains that Indian farmers and Indian small businesses are still struggling even after 75 years.
Same.
But you know what? This is where the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh has come out with an absolutely revolutionary program called the One District, One Product program.
Okay.
And if executed properly, it will not just make the Indian farmers rich, but will also turn the smallest districts of Uttar Pradesh into the export hubs of the country. The best part is that this program has already been so successful in the past 3 years that now it is regarded as the most important scheme for regional economic development all across the country.
My immediate thought to this, like yellow flag, is the rules of economy of scale. When you have a few small little hubs that are doing something like this, that are showing great success, and then you're like, okay, we're going to implement this on a mass scale. The implementation on a mass scale, there's something about scaling to where politicians and bureaucrats get their hands on it. It just seems like it's going to be another tool for false promises to run up on, make tons of money, and then never deliver upon them.
The question is, what is this One District, One Product program? What did the UP government do so special that it is now being implemented all across the country? And most importantly, as students of business, what are the lessons that we need to learn from this calculative, capitalistic program of Uttar Pradesh? This video is brought to you by Kuku FM, but more on this at the end of the video.
Great
It said cook.
content needs a great audience, like Stretch Armstrong needs to be stretched. Yeah!
To understand
So this also, like, I could see a big positive out of this too. If you're going into like certain districts have certain trades or certain products, and it's like a one product specialty, you can get these districts that are not only creating great products, but then are also cultivating the community on a certain skilled trade that is globally recognized as a good thing. So Insta +1 on the intelligence scale so far on this character chart that is one district, one product.
this UP model, we first have to understand the existing problems in the Indian market and why is the UP government so keen about this One District, One Product initiative. You see guys,
I'm not gonna lie, I love that color of orange. That's all I had to say there.
We all know that India has rich culture, tradition, diversity, geography, blah blah blah. But very few of us actually understand the same Indian culture, tradition, geography, and diversity from a capitalistic standpoint. To tell you about it, if you look at Dubai, these guys have spent billions and turned a desert into a tourist hotspot with hotels, amusement parks, aqua venture parks,
Esports World Cup, where you guys had a fantastic showing of all kinds of esports. I love my esports.
underwater zoos, and even a ski slope with 6
Hell, now they even have Saudi has a CDL team called the Falcons. And they're going to be competing in Call of Duty. And if you guys like Call of Duty, you like esports, make sure to come watch me during the CDL season because we're going to be commentating, doing watch parties. And at least over here in the States, I'm probably going to be rooting for Optic and Thieves, but I'm also going to be rooting for the Falcons because now we got love for our brothers overseas.
6,000 tons of snow inside a freaking desert. And they have done such an incredible job that as of 2019, while India had 17.91 million tourists, Dubai, which is such a small country, had about 16.73 million tourists.
Damn!
Now, do you realize whatever Dubai spent billions for, we already have it for
Yeah.
free at a scale that even $1 trillion budget cannot get you. We have mountains, valleys, greenery, desert, beaches, farms, and so many more things, and yet
You also have so many more things like a really bad online perception at the moment. It is changing. It is changing. And I hope if my channel can grow and over here in the States, if I can help like 1% of people realize that India is a beautiful place. And just like America, we go to New York or downtown Chicago or places in Atlanta, you might get shot. Same thing in India. But that is not like an Indian problem. That's not an American problem. That's just a human problem that if you have millions upon millions of people, 10% of them are gonna suck and be abhorrent, and that's just human nature, right? But don't focus on those bottom 10%. Focus on the top 10% in whatever area culture it's in, whether it's Indian, whether it's Japanese or Korean, American, South American, Russian. Focus on the top 10% of people and how they're thriving in their pursuit of excellence, and see if you can't implement some of that shit in your own life.
yet we are nowhere among the leading tourist destinations in the world. Similarly, we have such a vast catalog of healthy, vegan and delicious foods like idli, dosa and dhokla.
Dude, you guys have such good food. Holy fuck. And for like the vegetarians over here in the States, stop eating your bullshit vegan free pizza. Learn how to cook like traditional Indian food because most of it's vegan and it's delicious.
But even then, the market of these dishes in the international space is close to nothing. In fact, if you look at dosa versus burger, one is extremely healthy and economical, and the other is extremely unhealthy and costly.
But it's delicious. Stay the fuck away from my burger. Don't you dare insult American food like that again. I'm offended. I'm offended. I like my cheese and my meat on top of some bread.
And yet, we do not have anything as big as McDonald's for selling dosas around the world. And considering the upcoming health revolution where Coke and burgers are going down, our Indian dishes have $1 billion market just waiting to be tapped.
I would. Oh.
Similarly, we have so many types of crops, handicrafts, stone arts, woodworks, and countless other things that are export worthy. But even
Yeah, no, your architecture is out of this world. I'll give you that.
then, neither the makers of these products nor we the users have any clue about its potential. And at the same time,
Also, like cologne, you guys have amazing cologne. I paid a little extra $1 for some apparently cologne from Dubai, and holy shit, that stuff smells delicious.
we keep complaining about our import-export gap widening. Now the question over here is, when there is so much potential in India, why aren't we able to leverage it? Well, this is where the three major reasons for the one district, one product model comes in. The first problem that we have is the lack of resources to access the hot markets. A classic example of the same is something called the Shazar stone art. For those who don't know, Shazar stone is known as the stone of glory and wonder, and the reason why it has such flattering tags is because of the mesmerizing colors and patterns seen on the stone. And the skill of the artisan lies in cleaning, crafting, finishing and polishing of the stone. The best part is that the variety, quality and singularity of these stones is such that no two stones are similar in any way. And this unique stone is found exclusively along the Ken River in Uttar Pradesh. So it's extremely rare. But guess what? In spite of this stone being Mother Nature's own work of art, in India, there is no demand for it at all. But the actual market of the stone lies in countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Bahrain and Israel.
Very cool.
This is because the Hajj pilgrims from all around the world take Shazar stone souvenirs with Quran's quote on it. So you see, although the product is made in India and is rare, Since its market lies on the other side of the world, these artisans do not have the acumen or resources to access them. So they remain poor. The second reason for this is the lack of awareness.
That's actually kind of crazy that that's not going off in like Silicon Valley or like in Hollywood. I that blows my mind. Those gyms could be so pretty. I'm actually kind of stunned like that's not like in Louis Vuitton or like a Gucci lineup.
About the high demand markets. For example, even if there is a lot of demand for an easy to digest, low fat, low calorie fermented dish like dosa in Europe, unless the dosa seller in India knows about the market in Europe,
Yeah, the fermentedness. Yeah, I'm not a big fermented guy.
he will never be able to capture it. And lastly, we have some miscellaneous but major problems for different products. Like some lack marketing, others do not have the tech to achieve low cost production, and many need government subsidies and consultation to achieve economies of scale. This is a reason why the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh has initiated the One District, One Product program.
This is actually kind of really smart because if you guys have been on my channel for a little while, you guys can call me out in the comments. I'm not trying to be ignorant, but it seems like India has a problem, and I'm going to put problem in quotations because it's not a problem. It's just a reality, I think, of like you have really, really technologically advanced areas that are very developed, right? Very suburban technologicalized areas, and then you have areas that are very rural, very village-like, and you have a high amount of both of those at extremes with such a large group of people that how are you going to bridge that middle road? And this could legitimately be the foundation of a bridge. That's fantastic.
And the vision
Because the ability to create a true suburban area and like balance out the rural with the city dwelling areas with suburban areas and yada yada yada, you get those areas by developing stuff like this. This is actually a really good idea. And then once you get in those districts, then you can pull up Walmart, McDonald's, and other stuff to help support the infrastructure of that area and get the economy flowing in those small little communities.
of this program is to transform every district of the state into an export hub by identifying specific products having export prospects.
Yeah, it's
हम
actually
लोगों ने
smart.
उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर वन डिस्ट्रिक्ट वन प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च कर चुके हैं। इस योजना के तहत विभिन्न जनपदों के चयनित
That's another +1 on the intelligence of our character that we're making in this video.
स्थानीय उत्पादों के लिए मार्केटिंग, तकनीकी उन्नयन, कौशल एवं उद्यमिता प्रशिक्षण, आसान ऋण की सुविधा उसके माध्यम से उपलब्ध कराई जा रही है।
Now, without getting into the jargons, let's understand the power of this program using the extraordinary case study of Kala Namak rice. To tell you about it,
I like rice.
Kala Namak rice is one of the most amazing grains in the world,
Oh, is that
which
black
is a
rice?
naturally scented rice with countless health benefits. It contains a compound called
Yeah,
anthocyanin, which is anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and has anti-cancer properties. On
I've
top
actually had this rice before, and it's delicious. It's super nutty, earthy. I'm pretty positive I had this, but I think it's listed like what's called black rice, just because of its, like what it was packaged to me by. But Namekian rice, like from Dragon Ball Z, no wonder you get so strong from this. Like
of that, it
Piccolo eats this shit.
is naturally gluten-free, is rich in protein, iron, vitamin, calcium, magnesium, and natural fiber.
100%.
This makes it a wonderful product for weight loss. And to top it all off, it is known to be a natural detoxifier, and its consumption helps in prevention of ailments such as diabetes, Alzheimer's, and even hypertension. Now my question to you is, in spite of this miraculous product being grown in your own country, how many of you actually knew about Kala Namak rice? Very few, right? Well, guess what? This product has a huge market in countries like the US, New Zealand, Australia, and even UK.
See, I'm not completely full of crap.
But until 2018, except for a few, the farmers were not even willing to grow Kala Namak rice in India. And
Why?
even if they did, it was very difficult for them to sell it. And this is where the One District, One Product program came in as a game changer for these farmers. And what happened in the next 3 years will blow your mind.
Blow my mind.
As it turns out, in some areas, the number of farmers growing Kala Namak rice suddenly went from 15 to 20 to 750 to 800 farmers. And the area of this rice cultivation in Siddharth Nagar alone has gone up from 2,805 hectares in 2019 to 5,000 hectares in 2020 to almost 10,000 hectares in 2022. And the best part is that the farmer's income has increased by manifolds, as the wholesale price of Kala Namak has increased from 40 rupees per kg in 2018 to 90 rupees per kg in 2020 to 135 rupees per kg in 2021.
Okay, but how much of this growth has come from the actual farmers and is listed with the farmers. Because what I'm worried about when I see something like this, and especially with this kind of growth, is that it's money coming from the cities, and these cities are basically hiring people out in those areas to do this kind of work. So even though the people who live there are doing the work, they're not the ones getting 100% of the benefits. It's going to be the people who are in these cities who are going to be kind of like doing this feudalistic approach to this. You know what I'm trying to say? Like this kind of neo-feudalism that I'm afraid that's going to happen over here in the United States. I'm fearful of something like that happening here, where these districts could almost be bought up by like major corporations out there who could just buy the businesses, buy the land, because they already have the capital, and then the people there are just kind of like subjected to that area, kind of like the Hunger Games in like District 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And now it is actually being exported to Western countries with the vision to turn it into a major export commodity of India.
Like, I could legitimately see this going full dystopian and going like full Hunger Games, where like everyone was going to want to live in District 1 because it's the higher elite. Then you're going to have District 13s, which are like the Hunger Games movie.
Now the question is, how did Kala Namak rice suddenly become such a phenomenal success in just 4 years, and what did the UP government do so special? Well, the first thing that the government did was to identify the right markets and help these farmers access and market their products the right way. For example, the term Kala Namak rice might be familiar to us, but for the people outside of India, and for that matter even people in South India who don't understand Hindi, for them Kala Namak rice is not a very marketable name, isn't it? So you know what? Under the guidance of the government, Kala Namak rice has now been rebranded as Buddha rice, and it was presented to Buddhist monks in order to promote it in Buddhist countries.
Nice.
And this includes countries like Korea, China, Japan, Vietnam, Cambodia and Myanmar. This is because it is believed that Lord Buddha broke his fast with a pudding made of the same rice. On top of that, the government even assisted the farmers to package the rice.
So they took Buddha's name and they're like, yo, when he decided to break his fast and he was finally enlightened, he had a pudding bowl of this shit. Don't you want to be enlightened like Buddha?
With Buddha branding, and this is what the packaging looks like. So it's not only Lord Buddha's picture, but also has a quote that has a sacred backstory. So you see, suddenly, merely by changing its branding, now Kala Namak rice is appealing to a huge international market.
Yeah, if they were real OGs and they really wanted to do it correctly, they would put like a picture of like Netero on there from like Hunter x Hunter. That's who they should put in the front of the rice bag for Buddha, if they're freaking real OGs. And if you know, you know. Wait, no.
Value chain of Kala Namak rice, and this includes demonstrations of cropping system, distribution of high yielding varieties of seeds, improved farm machineries, integrated nutrient and pest management techniques, processing and post-harvest equipments, and a ton of other trainings was given to the farmers. Thirdly, the UP government organized special festivals to give market access to our farmers. In this case, for Kala Namak rice, a 3-day festival had been organized in Siddharth Nagar in collaboration with the Export Promotion Department in March 2021. This festival brought farmers and buyers on the same platform and created awareness such that the farmers could understand the market and the buyers could understand the product.
Okay, that's
In
good.
fact, the UP government hosted festivals not just for Kala Namak rice, but also for strawberry and jaggery. And now, the government is looking to organize a similar fest for dragon fruit to further expand its market. On top of that, e-commerce platforms like Amazon and Flipkart are also being used to provide a larger market to farmers and FPOs. In fact, in 2020, Flipkart signed an MOU with the government of Uttar Pradesh. So now, Flipkart is actively engaged in breaking the entry barriers for the farmers by extending time-bound incubation support. And this includes benefits in the form of onboarding, free cataloging, marketing, account management, business insights, and warehousing support.
Wow. So I don't know of Flipkart, but I do know Amazon, and Amazon does very similar things. And it's kind of interesting to see how Amazon and I guess Flipkart are kind of encroaching even on these large distribution centers and kind of like becoming these horizontal hubs of just like massive umbrella companies. It's this Flipkart I'm fascinated by that. 'Cause I know all about Amazon, but I'm assuming Flipkart is is the same of Amazon, but on the western side or eastern side of the hemisphere. Yeah. The other side.
And you will be delighted to know that as of 3rd June 2022, Flipkart announced that government's ODOP products have recorded sales of 1600 crores. And this is since 2020 only. Similarly, there are other avenues opening up with Amazon and other e-commerce companies. And lastly, there is something called CFC or Common Facility Centers coming up for Kala Namak rice and other ODOP products. This center will provide all the facilities under one roof, including training for branding, marketing, credit, finance, skill development, general and air conditioned storage, processing, grading, packaging and barcoding machines as per the requirements of the goods. These CFC centers are being established not just for Kala Namak rice but for all ODP products across UP. The best part is, while the cost of a single CFC is close to 15 crores, the government itself will bear 90% of this cost. And in total, the government of Uttar Pradesh has provided financial assistance of 8,200 crores, benefiting 2,600 entrepreneurs in the last 3 years itself. So in summary, marketing and branding to achieve product market fit, education and guidance to optimize production, festivals to give access to the untapped but high potential markets, combined with e-commerce MOUs and government subsidies.
I know this is going to sound silly, but to stop my dystopian idea of, like the Hunger Games, I feel like the festivals and education and guidance are probably the two biggest things. And festivals may be holding the most in the sense that it'd be very hard to track on a spreadsheet. And obviously the e-commerce MOUs are super, super important.
Turned Kala Namak rice into a phenomenal.
I'm afraid of the government subsidies because I feel like the more that this is involved, the more likely Hunger Games takes place.
Phenomenal success, and more importantly,
You
into
need
an
it,
emerging
but only at
export
like a
commodity
small
for
level.
Siddharth Nagar. Similarly, for
efficient
the
level.
products like Shazar Stone that have an international market, the government of Uttar Pradesh is planning to host international expos through the Indian embassies so that these businesses can take their products to the other side of the globe. This is just one of the many examples of how the Uttar Pradesh government is laying the foundation to turn each of its districts into an export hub. I'll give you a long list of all the ODP products and their districts so that you can actually find out what the government is doing to understand it better. And the result of this program has been such that in the last 5 years, Uttar Pradesh has witnessed a gradual increase in its exports from 81,000 crores in 2015-16 to 1.2 lakh crores in 2019-20. This is a substantial jump of 48%. And the fun fact is that almost 80% of these products which have been exported from the state belong to the ODOP category. Furthermore, the government of Uttar Pradesh has set an ambitious target of exporting 3 lakh crore worth of goods in the next 4 years itself.
Remember I was talking about the economies of scale earlier in this video? This is where I'm talking about it at. That ambitious targeting, going from like a little to a lot. It's good because you need speed and momentum behind you, but it could also cause a lot of little hiccups and headaches along the way.
Now what remains to be seen is how quickly and effectively can they achieve it. And because of this phenomenal success that ODOP has achieved, now the same initiative is being initiated in 16 other states. So just like Kala Namak rice in agriculture, in the textile sector, we have the Kanjipuram silk from Tamil Nadu, Fulkari from Punjab and terry towels from Maharashtra. In the agricultural products, we have Kandhamal haldi from Odisha, Vayukulam pineapple from Kerala and Ittar from Uttar Pradesh. This
What is this? Is this not the same? Is this just not turmeric? What's so special about this turmeric?
From Kerala and Ittar from Uttar Pradesh. This is the story of one district, one product initiative. And this brings us to the last part of the episode, which is about the lessons that we need to learn from this modern day government model. Meanwhile, if you are someone who wants to know more about the greatest political leaders of India, you must check out the audiobook on Atal Bihari Vajpayee on the Kuku FM app. Kuku FM is India's leading audio learning platform with 4.5 plus rating and 1,000 plus non-fiction audiobooks in multiple regional languages all across India. Discount. Moving on to the lessons, the first thing we need to learn from this case study is that having the potential to do something and doing something has a big difference. 99% of the products and businesses with great potential fail. Why? Because nobody acts to extract the value out of that product. In this case, Kala Namak rice, Dhokla, Dosa and Kanjipuram saris, all these products have the potential to scale. But unless the government and the people do something about it, even after a century, we'll be left with futile tales of India's big potential. Lesson number 2. Product and market both are useless unless there is a product market fit. In this case, the Shazar stone is rare, it's beautiful and also has a big market in the Middle East. But again, unless they are given access to these markets, those products will be worthless. And lastly, sometimes even though you have a great product, it might just need a better name and a better story to resonate with your audience. In this case, we saw that Kala Namak rice, which was a term alien to many, became an iconic product for a huge market just because it got named as Buddha rice.
Yeah, social media agencies over here go crazy over stuff like this. You could have a product and it just has the bad packaging around it and it won't sell. You just keep the same product and you put it in a much better packaging and all of a sudden it's selling like hotcakes.
So rebranding is super duper powerful. So keep an eye on the name of your product and the story behind it. Meanwhile, before we say goodbye, we will also be covering some of the most underrated business case studies in the next 1 month. So stay tuned for that and drop a comment about your favorite underrated product or a company that deserves
Yeah, this guy does good videos. I like this.
the shout out and an international market. Do mention their links along with it so that if we find it worthy, we can share it with all of you. That's all from my side for today, guys. If you learned something valuable, please make sure to hit the like button and how to make YouTube Baba happy. And for more such insightful business and political
To make YouTube Bubba happy. I might start stealing that one.
case studies, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for
Instead of, I think it said Buddha, YouTube Buddha happy. I think I'm gonna steal that. So if I start stealing that in the videos going here forward, you know where I got it from.
watching. I will see you in the next one.
Yep, no, I hear you. If you guys like the way the words are flowing out my mouth, you're picking up what I'm putting down when I'm reacting to this stuff. You know the drill. Like, share, subscribe, everything that my man just said. And do it for YouTube Buddha. With that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.